maybe. Feeling mysteriously drawn to me, eh? Well, then you worry. You can have me whenever you like.
School productions.
We did a Brecht play. I remember the last year I was at senior school. It was The Resistible Rise of Arturo Ui. You know, the sort of the parody of the rise of Nazis, and I had the lead role, obviously, Arturo Ui, and I really went to town with that. I dyed my hair black and combed it over, grew a little moustache, and my mum, she goes to me, she said, "Oh, you look very smart." And I just say that my mum says you look like Hitler, and she said, "Well, I don't care. You look very nice."
I didn't try to be funny in plays at school till I was about 14, and before that, like at primary school, they put me in plays and I'd have quite small parts, but I was as rubbish as everyone else, if not more rubbish. I also had a speech impediment at the time. I couldn't say sir. Sir came out sir, rather than sir. So I was more into visual comedy, what with not being able to speak. I was sort of do little mimes.
Silent, miserable mime in the class.
Silent, miserable mime. Where did you get miserable out of this? I was perfectly happy.
Me and Steve Perry and Rod Wilcox were in charge of the spotlights on one play, and we thought it was hilarious to miss everybody with the spots. So there was comedy on the stage as far as we were concerned, but not to the actors or the parents and the drama teacher who did a triple slap along the backs of our heads.
Someone had dropped out of this play. I think it's called All the King's Men. It was a kind of operetta because the boy didn't want to be in a dress with a wig on, because, you know, at school, all boys school, you don't want to be called gay, you know. And so they asked me to do it, and a dress, yes, of course, no problem. And I had a wig, and the other boys didn't have wigs, but my mum got me a sort of special wig and everything, so I looked better than the rest of the boys in the dresses as well.
You know, I used to love Lent, when everything was draped in purple. You know, and the bishop would come and the thurible would be swung and there'd be incense everywhere, and I used to think, I want to be on the altar. And eventually, when I got on the altar, I mean, I didn't stay very long because I was the worst altar boy going.
Why?
Well, because I did I used to, you know, go up the altar steps with the thurible and I'd do over the shoulders to the congregation. And I used to...
ever after the theatre of
This is it. Yeah. I used to lift the cassock, you know, like, and show a bit of ankle.
Finishing high school in San Francisco in 1969, in the peak of the happy times, you know, everyone's stoned. I mean, there was you're just doing wild stuff. I went from this, you know, ties and blazers to all of a sudden, like, don't be afraid. This is history class. Everyone, we're going to reenact the Civil War with a group hug. It was like, cool.
Was it? Really?
Yeah. And
cosmic.
that opened it up. Then all of a sudden, and then I performed in this school play at the end of the year where I made fun of all the teachers. And all of a sudden I went, this is interesting. The laughter and also the approbation.
I remember being at a friend's house at a sleepover when we were all about 15, 16, and somebody deciding that I was funny and waking me up. I was fast asleep and sitting on a chair, still with my sleeping bag around me, and about a dozen of the boys who were in my year, while I went through a roster of impressions and really, really making people laugh. Like impressions of teachers and of other pupils, and just coming out with it like a stream of consciousness, and everybody really laughing and suddenly becoming like a celebrity.
People would say to me a lot, you should be on the telly, right? I was sitting in the sixth form canteen just eating some dreadful food, and I remember thinking, the generation that was the cutting edge then was your generation, which is, I'd say, just before my generation, if you want to be.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in this common room thinking, why can't I be part of this new generation? Because there has to be a new generation. And I had this sort of moment where I was thinking, there must be people in sixth form common rooms all around the country who don't know that they're going to be part of a new generation.
Comedy orchestra illusa.